always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to the first few notes of spring. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. Again, it was Gladys Tabor from the Still Meadow Road, published by Lippincott, who wrote, "People have seasons too, I think. There is something steadfast about people who withstand the chilling winds of trouble, the storms that assail the heart, and have the endurance and character to wait quietly for an April time." Gladys Tabor from the Still Meadow Road. That April time is almost here. For Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Now, I'm really getting ahead of myself. The month of May mentioned in the song In the Still of the Night from Boyz II Men. Sara McLachlan with An Ordinary Miracle, and the Beatles, And Here Comes the Sun. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Dinah Mulock Craig, and quoted in the bestseller Simple Abundance, A Daybook of Comfort and Joy by Sarah Bon Brownock, said, "Autumn to winter, winter to spring, spring into summer, summer into fall. So rolls the changing year, and so we change. Motion so swift, we know not that we move." Unquote. And how true that is. For those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, it was not a harsh winter this year, and maybe that fact has had something to do with the sense that our seasons seem to be moving at a faster pace as we continue to move forward into 2010. Jean Hersey, in The Shape of a Year, some years back, wrote, and I quote, "March is the month of sudden changes. One day, the beginnings of spring are in the air. The next, white flakes are flying. A restlessness in our bones responds to the wild, restless winds of the month. We are not at home with the strange impulses and undisciplined thoughts that go blowing through our minds and emotions. Some days, confidence shrinks to the size of a pea, and the backbone feels like a feather. We want to be somewhere else and don't know where. Want to be someone else and don't know who." Unquote. Jean Hersey, In the Shape of a Year. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. I'm coming back home. Michael Buble, Coming Back Home, and Rod Stewart with These Foolish Things. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Behold, my brothers, the spring has come. The earth has received the embraces of the sun, and we shall soon see the results of that love. Every seed is awakened, and so has all animal life. It is through this mysterious power that we too have our being, and we therefore yield to our neighbors, even our animal neighbors, the same right as ourselves to inhabit this land. The words of Tatanka Yotanka, or Sitting Bull, the famous leader of one of the great First Nations in the States. Have you checked your flower beds over the last little while? My crocuses are up already. David Stendhal Rast from Gratefulness, The Heart of Prayer, published by the Paulist Press, wrote, and I quote, "A single crocus ought to be enough to convince our heart that springtime, no matter how predictable, is somehow a gift, gratis, gratuitous, a grace. Why then is it difficult for some to acknowledge this gift as such? When I admit that something is a gift, I admit my dependence on the giver. There is something within us that bristles at the idea of dependence. Gift-giving is a celebration of the bond that unites giver and receiver. That bond is gratefulness. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI. Again, I'm getting a little ahead of myself by playing that song, but spring sometimes has that effect on me. Jacksoul on a shady day with some memories of summer. Natasha Bedingfield, A Pocketful of Sunshine, and Blue Rodeo with 5 Days in May. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. There is one who feels the spring and welcomes any change, no matter how subtle. I saw him sitting on the footbridge over our pond on the weekend, looking down into the water at the koi and the goldfish, starting to come out of their deep winter sleep. My visitor? A neighbor's cat. The fish? They're fine. So is the cat. This is called The Spring is a Cat by Zhang He Li. On a cat's fur, soft as pollen, the mild spring's fragrance lingers. In a cat's eyes, round as golden bells, the mad spring's flame glows. On a cat's gently closed lips, the soft spring's drowsiness lies. On a cat's sharp whiskers, the green spring's life dances. Lovers and Other Strangers in Spring with iTunes and CHFI.com. The Beatles, Till There Was You. Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World, and Hall & Oates, and Sara Smile. Spring arrived this past Saturday at 1:38 in the afternoon in the southern hemisphere. For my listeners in countries like Australia, it heralded the first day of autumn. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. These are a few excerpts from an article by Emil Jenkins from the January 93 issue of Victoria magazine, and I quote, "Winter's colors can be breathtaking. In my wintertime garden, no butterflies flutter, no honeybees hum. There are no whimsical Johnny jump-up faces or graceful summer dahlias. Yet I know each is hidden away in its own secret bed, where winter's silence holds the promise of spring's exuberance. Through the years, I have learned that to everything there is a season. Later will be the time to plant and to pluck what is planted. Now is the season to keep the secrets. Now is the time to relish the silence." Unquote. Well, that silence is just about to be broken. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Josh Groban, Awake, and Roberta Flack, and Feel Like Making Love. Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Francis Gay, in the 1990 edition of The Friendship Book of Francis Gay, featured the words of an unknown writer, and I quote, "In the heart of every winter is a quivering spring, and behind the veil of each night there is a smiling dawn." Unquote. Friendship Book, published by D.C. Thompson and Company. Where you are, it may not look or even feel like spring yet. Patience. It is here. Soon you'll see the changes. Any pocket of snow that remains hidden from the March sun won't be around for very long. Samuel Taylor Coleridge dreams of that perfect day to come. All nature seems at work. Slugs leave their lair. The bees are stirring, birds are on the wind, and winter, slumbering in the open air, wears on his smiling face a dream of spring. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.